Hey everyone, welcome back to my podcast Keep It Real with Kapila Mistry. Before we proceed, I hope you all have subscribed to my YouTube channel. If not, please do it right now and get to hear my real life experiences, which I would be sharing with you every week. Also, don't forget to like, share, and comment on my videos, and I would be really happy to answer all of your questions that you put up for me. You may also follow my Instagram handle. I have shared the link in the description box. I would also share the link of YouTube channel. All the links would be posted on my Instagram bio. So you can connect with me through both the channels. You may also hear me on Spotify or Anchor app. Pregnancy brings in too many changes both mentally and physically, and that's what I would be discussing in today's episode, in which I would speak on post-pregnancy recovery. No judgments, please. So let's talk about certain pointers. So one by one, I would speak on certain pointers which is related to postpartum. Postpartum is basically post-pregnancy, which is the fourth trimester of a woman that she goes through post the three first trimesters, of pregnancy. Fourth trimester, the initial 3 months post you deliver a baby, is that particular period. All right. So just wanted to clarify that before we start. The first thing that I would want to speak about is my bladder was not what it used to be post delivering my baby. So I wish I had made more of an effort to strengthen my pelvic floor, which while I was pregnant. So I used the Glow app, which had Kegel exercises as part of a daily to-do checklist, but I really did not do them all that often, which is bad. I was lucky enough to give birth vaginally with very minimum tearing. So my recovery in that regard was relatively a little less painless, you could say. But at times it becomes difficult to hold your bladder, because if you laugh out loud, if you have more strengthening kind of activity or exercise, you might end up peeing and you don't realize, and you cannot control your bladder at times. So that is one thing I have noticed about myself and about that particular period. Second thing, childbirth leaves battle scars. Trust me, how I wished I was even told that there would be a recovery. You're always told that labor is the worst pain you'll ever feel, and women yelling like anything to their husbands, and basically terrifying you to the point where you might not want to procreate, never discuss about the recovery. But for me, individually, the recovery was initially way too worse. It was too slow, that's what I felt, and my vagina was so beat up. It was like it got into a war fight or something. It was way too difficult for me to come out of that pain. The gynecologist who delivered my baby chose not to do, you can say, lengthier cut, or I don't know what it is called. So basically that term is episiotomy, wherein you get a cut on your vagina for the normal delivery. So I did not get much of stitches, but again, it hurts, even if it is a couple of stitches, maybe 4 or 5, it does hurt, does get time to recover. So both the shoulders came through at the same time in a speedy fashion. As a result, I had a third degree tear. I also had pretty significant, way of coming out of that particular pain, because I used to try and walk, do exercise. I tried my best to keep myself active, but failed miserably at times due to the pain. When we got back home after my discharge, I couldn't sit down. Even in the car seat, it was really painful. The pain was excruciating like anything. I had to stand up and pee in the shower. Even then, I would be sobbing. Lots of pee on the bathroom floor and so many tears, I remember. Let's not even talk about trying to poop. It was impossible. Plus, the fear of pain would, not let my poop come out. Yeah, so that was it. So it took me a while to come out of that pain. I could say now that my baby is approximately gonna be 3 months in the coming June, 10th of June. So it took around 2 months for me to get into that normal, semi-normal position, you could say, not completely normal. So that happens. Also, mainly I get aches on my scars, on the stitches, and aches down my feet as well. So that happens when I'm on my feet too long. It gets more tender, and it pains when I actually give more stress or do more of strenuous exercises or activities. Yeah. Thirdly, I would say the emotional pain was too much than that of physical pain. Okay, so I was never prepared for what I experienced emotionally. So, sure, at my first appointment, usually the doctors should be checking if I ever felt depressed or if anyone in my family had been diagnosed with a mental illness. But I would say the answer was yes, if I was being asked. But unfortunately, I could not do much of follow ups because of the current situation outside, the lockdown and stuff. So I had just one follow up with my doctor, and she was um, okay and discussed with me about the normal health conditions, checked on me. But mostly people don't discuss more about the mental, trauma that you go through post pregnancy, which is very high in almost 90% of the women, I would say. Um, about 6 weeks after I delivered my baby, I started to, actually experience that particular phase where it was maybe I was not eating enough. I would not feel like eating, it was suffocating, and even sleep, I would not get enough sleep. So my marriage was deteriorating, the social life was lacking, it was getting exhausted day by day. So I can even say that now after a couple of months I'm feeling 99.9% better, but there has to be more education, intervention and preparation for the mental health issues that a pregnant, or you could say a new mom, could potentially face. So women actually must be screened continuously throughout their pregnancy, at least for a year or so. That is what I feel. So there are too many of us falling through the cracks. I guess they need that particular mental support that would not let them get into depression and keeps them happy throughout this phase. That is what I feel. um, Fourth thing, I would want to speak about physical trauma. That is also not good. It was worse than I expected. So even with the normal and the most um, uneventful vaginal birth, I would say I was not prepared for recovery to last for weeks. I was told at least a month and a half would be required, like 6 weeks. They say minimum 6 weeks would be required for the your uterus to come back to the normal size post giving birth. The pain would subside, but um, I underestimated the physical trauma of childbirth. I was lucky that my husband had the opportunity, or you would say, we were lucky enough because of this phase. He was with me every single time and was supporting me a lot to take care of my daughter. And because there was nobody, I was with my in-laws. My in-laws were there, but the maximum support that I got was from my husband. So, and this is the phase wherein you actually overthink a lot. I would overthink a lot on everything. So you cry for no reason. My baby would cry, I would cry looking at her. Why is she crying? Am I not able to take care of her or not understand what exactly she wants? So at this point of time, you need a partner. You cannot do things alone. You have to get that help and support, both mentally and physically, for the upbringing of your child. So this is very important. Plus, that bond is really important between you, between your husband and your child. So this particular uh, you know you can say the father and daughter bond is actually very important, at least in the first phases of post birth of child. So that I was really lucky that my husband had that opportunity, or he would get that chance to be 24 by 7 around his daughter. So he was really happy, even I was happy. Next is about emotions. As I said, you get too many emotions. The most surprising thing to me is how many emotions you feel in such a short time. So I would say I had an emotion of fear, excitement at times, determination, love, confusion. Yeah. So I was told that my child was perfectly healthy. So yeah, she was really fine. Even the birth weight was really fine. That is important. So that surprised me at times, that I would check the applications so many times to check if my child was actually growing well or not. So too much of Google is also at times bad, because you get so many things in mind that you get confused. Oh my god, what to do and what not to do. This was another thing that I went through. Next, I would say sleep. So if you want to recover, sleep is really, really, really important. So how important taking the time to sleep is something that really surprised me. And this is the number one way to be healing faster. So all the moms out there, this is my personal advice. I know it is a bit difficult to adjust your schedule along with your baby, as per your baby's schedule, but I would say your baby sleeps, please sleep, because it is usually seen. I have experienced this. I would say my personal experience was, whenever my baby is sleeping, I had 10 things, 10 to do list in my checklist, and once I complete that and just lie down on the bed besides her, she would wake up, and it was like, oh no, now when do I sleep? So again, put her to sleep, again I do my chores, and then when I go to sleep next to her, she wakes up. I don't know how these kids understand, oh my god, mom is resting, wake up, it's time to wake up. And that's tough, because you also need to rest. So rest is really important. Moving ahead, I would say the other point would be, it doesn't get easier, you just get better at it with time. It is always said, with time, time heals everything. So that's a fact. I was surprised, even a normal delivery hurts a lot, yeah. And yes, it does. So if I would lean over to my baby to just hold her, I used to get, you know, extreme pain on my lower back. That really hurts. The scars would hurt. And a couple of moms told me, many moms told me, in fact, the first 6 to 7 weeks really suck, and it's true. So you deal with things like breastfeeding an infant who whips her hair like a wide mouth, crying in frustration because she is hungry. So you have to understand. And these kids actually treat their mother's nipple as a pacifier, so that, and nothing else can make them sleep other than breastfeeding. So you need to adjust to that as well. So many moms have that nausea that, if you're not breastfeeding well, you're not a good mom. So that's not a fact. It is not a fact at all. So you understand your kid better. You should know what should be the best way to keep your child calm. So if you're breastfeeding, there may be n number of methods nowadays. There are so many different ways you could breastfeed and keep yourself also happy, so that your child is happy. So I will discuss this. This also would be coming up just about the kids in my next episode. So we'll have a detailed, um, you know, discussion and experience sharing in that episode. Another thing is, more than bleeding, I think. More bleeding than bonding is what I have experienced. I had no idea how long I would bleed after giving birth. So, and everything that comes with that is really that you have to be prepared about. Otherwise, it comes as a surprise and shock at the same time. So, I wasn't prepared, and people told me, but then when you actually get into that particular shoes, you step into the shoes yourself, you realize, oh my god, spending 3 weeks or say 4 5 weeks with that huge pads is difficult. Honestly, I was surprised that I had that immediate bond with my baby upon giving birth. I was prepared that I am going to cry a lot because of those crazy hormones, but not because I felt shortchanged about the promise of the amazing unconditional love that I got from my baby. But I guess this rational part of my brain told me that this is probably normal. So everything is normal. I was prepared mentally. At least I googled a lot of things, as I told you in the earlier episodes as well. So I always kept myself ready of what is going to come up. But then you actually go through it when you experience it yourself. So that is what is the fact. So that emotional bond did take me over for a roller coaster ride, but that was also an experience, I would say. Other thing is you will be forever changed. You get changed from a normal girl, a woman, you become a mother. That feeling in itself is so divine. After giving birth, you will forever change. So, giving birth in itself is a humbling experience, guys. It cannot be expressed in words. It is such an experience. So, the progression from my water breaking to me delivering my baby girl was amazing. I was surprised by how quickly and naturally I lost all my inhibitions while my body succumbed to this contractions, dilations, those pain, everything. So, as I felt the release of actually delivering my baby, I also immediately felt an immense burst of love, emotions, the motherly love that came out naturally. This small baby was placed in my arms, and instantly she was mine, the love of my life. So if I was, as if I had known her forever and loved her even longer, it's a very powerful and selfless journey wherein your body, your mind, and your heart will all be different. So you should embrace it. It's truly, truly a miracle, I would say. So embrace every moment. So, these were the certain experiences of my post pregnancy recovery. It would be an understatement to say that pregnancy changes a woman's body. Women at a healthy weight typically would gain anywhere approximately between 5 kgs to 15 kgs or more, depending on the body structure, during the pregnancy, and many end up with a lot of stretch marks, loose skin, which is all natural and normal. And all that said, you just created a fully formed human. So you are a superhero. And of course, your body is going to change. So acceptance is really important. And however, acceptance is way easier said than done, especially with the societal pressure to bounce back to your pre pregnancy weight again as soon as possible. It is really difficult at times. So learn to love yourself, embrace yourself, the postpartum self, stretch marks, and everything. I personally feel that my body has given me the greatest gift ever of my life, and you just have to be gentle with yourself. My personal goal is to appreciate my body for what it has done. I have intense gratitude towards my body. So, ending this episode, I would just want to say to all the moms out there that write on your mirror that I had a baby, I am a superhero, I am a super mom. Love yourself and give that particular time for your personal recovery. If you are happy, your child will be happy. So, the slogan is happy mom, happy child. This is what I follow. So, this is what it was about today's episode. I hope you all liked it. If yes, please share your views, comment on the videos. I would be really happy to go through it. I will be getting more, interesting experiences in the further episodes. So stay tuned. Till then, stay happy, stay safe, and keep it real.